Hello and welcome back everybody to the Let's Play of Fallout here with Fruit Spread, which is me. And just want to take care of a few items before we get back into it, some house cleaning so to speak. First and foremost, there's a piece of trivia I want to get out of the way before I forget, and that's about our furry friend here. Dogmeat, his name is actually a reference to a 70s post-apocalyptic movie that is one of the inspirations for Fallout, called A Boy and His Dog, where it takes the two main characters, a boy and his dog, have nicknames for each other. The dog is psychic; he can talk with telepathy, and he's constantly making fun of the boy for, you know, being an uneducated wasteland skag, basically. And so he'll call him Albert, as in Albert Einstein, instead of calling me, you know, nice work Einstein. It's, you know, Albert. And the boy's nickname for Blood is the dog's actual name. He'll call him Dogmeat when he's angry at him. So that's where he gets his name from. So I want to get that out of the way before I forget. Secondly, like I mentioned earlier, is in an earlier session that I was going to screw up the skulls. That's a different screen over. The skulls quest, I did, and that I did not initiate it right. And now that they're dead, I can't actually get the reward for it. So that 5 minutes or so I spent running around trying to talk to Killian, talk to the bartender Lars, and the waitress whose name I've forgotten, and try to get my experience points for doing all that. That's a lost cause. Like I said, I was going to screw up that quest, and I did. And speaking thereof, that is why I went ahead and did a little pre-gaming, so to speak. Jumping ahead, as you can see in the save screens there, is making sure that I at least know the main through line of the game, so I'm not going to waste your time not knowing how to use backpacks, not knowing how to use sacks, and not knowing where quests are supposed to start and end. So I did a little homework. That way, hopefully I'm not wasting too much of your time. So now that that's out of the way, we can go ahead and start our way to the hub. And I was actually talking with a friend of mine, the same friend who introduced me to Fallout that I mentioned when we were fighting Rad Scorpions, how much of this game I actually want to showcase, because if we do every side quest and every data log entry and all these things, it could actually be a very, very long playthrough. But if we streamline it, and what brings it up is that the hub, there are two big shortcuts you can take. And I was debating whether I should do the shortcuts to try to make the playthrough concise and quick, or if I wanted to showcase everything I could. And we came to kind of a decision that I'm going to show you all of the talking heads in the game, which means I'm going to get started on two quest lines in this game, or in this city, rather. I don't know if I'm going to follow through with them or not. If you want me to, leave a comment, let me know. But otherwise, I'm just going to showcase the talking heads and try to stick to the main storyline. If you out there want me to do more than that, let me know. And if it's not too late as I record these, I'll try to go back and do those things for you. So we're at the Hub Trading Company, which is the whole city, and this is, in fact, the largest city in the Wasteland so far, in Fallout 1 anyway. And there's that lovely sitar music that you're going to have to learn to love, whether you like to or not. Every time I jump between parts of town, you will be hearing it. Now, these are the caravans. As you can see, these are caravan. That's a driver. That should be two drivers. Oh, it's Matt. Matt has a name. I don't know if I've talked to Matt. We'll get back to you, Matt. You'll see that these are drivers, guards. Oh, most of these are drivers. Maybe they mean the same thing. I thought driver would be like the head of the expedition, guards would just be hired help. Anywho, is that this is the staging area for the three trading companies in town: Fargo Traders, Crimson Caravan, and the Water Merchants. And as you can see, they've got their Brahmin pens over there and growing crops. So this is a large city. They're doing quite well for themselves. But what I always really liked about the design of these, of the cargo trains themselves, they're, you know, the back halves of cars or trucks. And it reminds me of a Twilight Zone episode called Old Man in the Cave, where they have cars that they ride in, but they're driven by horses, as opposed to these that look like they're pagodas that these guys are going to be hauling all the way to Junktown and the Brotherhill Bunker and Shady Sands and all that. So feel bad for those guys. Oh yeah, before I forget, let's talk. Matt has a name, so he might have something to say to us. Yes, how can I be of service? What is this place? This is the hub. This is a trade center for the waste. It's the biggest city I know of. You could find about anything you want here. And if you're looking for work, this is the place to be. It seems just like about everyone here is looking to hire. Looking here, here is looking to hire for something, be it legal or not. What are all the carts doing here? These are the caravans. We cart goods to just about all corners of the waste. Junktown, the Brotherhood, Shady Sands, and numerous other places. Necropolis and the Glow are the only areas we steer clear of. I'm head of this group, and we'll be leaving shortly. The group across the street just arrived. What is it that you trade? Trade lots of stuff. General stuff people need to live. Food, water, lots of water. Water is probably the scarcest commodity out in the waste. Could you tell me how to find a water chip? Water chip. Wow, you got me on that one. I've never heard of those. Maybe you should check that general store downtown. They might be able to help you. Alright. Alright, thanks, Matt. Yep, there's that C-Tar again. Now, here's something interesting, is that this is the town guard, but as you see in the bottom left corner, he's actually referred to as a police officer of the hub, which is interesting because most other towns there'll be guards or there'll be a group of mercenaries we'll meet later on called the Regulators. These actually have the office of a police officer, and there's some deputies we'll meet, and a sheriff, Jonathan Green, something like that. But this got me thinking when we were in Junktown and talking to Killian Darkwater, where he needed evidence before he could move on Gizmo, when he was essentially the mayor and sheriff himself, so why he didn't just pull a vigilante move, I don't know. But I think maybe in an early write of the script, like maybe the first or second draft, that the casino and Killian were supposed to be in the hub itself with the police force, hence why you'd have to bug him or get an actual confession when the really only person stopping Killian from rolling into, Gizmo's casino and shooting him in the face is Killian himself, so that's just a theory. A game theory. But it's just a thought I had. I have no way of verifying whether it's true or false. I believe this is one... yep, this is Deputy Fry. Hello. What is this place? Oh, a newcomer. Welcome to the hub. You've reached the biggest city on the coast. Heck, maybe the biggest city in the world for all we know. I thought you were part of the caravan. When did you come in with them? No. That's surprising. It's pretty rough out there, especially with the missing caravans, but you're safe now. Just stay away from the Maltese Falcon. They're a bunch of troublemakers. Decker and his crew. Okay, who's Decker? He owns the Maltese Falcon in the merchant market, but I wouldn't associate with him if you want to stay... I wouldn't associate with him if you want to stay out of trouble. He's nothing but a murdering animal, but the sheriff won't let me arrest him without proof. Yeah, again, that leads me to believe that maybe there was a different version of the script where Gizmo and Killian were in this town, but it got changed later on, but still the basic premise remained the same, even though, vigilante justice... Anyway, just a theory. Alright, so what's this about the missing caravans? It's a tragedy, really. Some caravans have turned up missing. How do you turn up missing? Wouldn't they just be... If they turned up, they wouldn't be missing. Anyway, Butch over at the Fargo Traders is offering a reward for information or something. You should check it out at the merchant market if you're interested. Okay. Do you know anything about a water chip? Well, I've never heard of one. If it has to do with water, though, you should talk to the water merchants. The headquarters is located further south, past the downtown area. Okay, so we have caravans missing. Oh, pardon me. No problem. Believe it or not, our city is quite safe and our police are very highly trained peacekeepers. You shouldn't have any problems, just avoid the Maltese Falcon. Okay. And is this... I always mess this up. This is just some guard post. I keep thinking that the sheriff is in there, but he's actually in a square screen further south. And these bad boys are rocking some combat armor, which hopefully we can get our hands on pretty soon. Is leather armor gives you a decent AC, but not that great of damage reduction, or damage resistance, I believe it is called in this game. As opposed to metal armor, which gives you kind of a crappy defense, but a higher damage resistance. So That's kind of the trade-off between those two. Whereas combat armor is just plain awesome, and it does a great job of both. And I believe it also gives you like 30% radiation resistance, which will become very important pretty quickly. So this is the marketplace. We have the Crimson Caravan. Over here is the Fargo Traders. And the general store, the Friendly Loan Company, which is anything but friendly, as we'll find out later. And this store is simply labeled guns. And this would be the library, but the sign would be on this wall that the isometric view does not allow us. And here is the Maltese Falcon. And for those of you who are unaware, as you don't watch movies from the 40s, the Maltese Falcon is an old film, a film noir. And it has Humphrey Bogart as, I want to say Sam Spade, but I don't think that's right. It's a detective story nonetheless. It's good, check it out. And we have this guy on the street offering, beckoning us to come over here. He's a shifty-looking character, according to the readout. So, what you doing in a hub? Looking for something I need. Well, we all got needs. I might be able to help you with some of them. So let's say what sort of need you got? I need information. I'm just gonna drop the voice, because it's hard enough to read with it. So you're looking for information, huh? Being a respectable businessman, I got overheard. So I'll need a few caps to tell you. Alright, the grammar on that sentence is just garbage. What he's basically is he's a guy who knows things on the street, and if we give him some money, he'll be willing to tell us things. So let's go ahead and ask about Decker. Now, normally I don't mind selling information, but you're not gonna get anything out of about Lenny about Mr. Decker. Okay. Now we can ask him about the water chip, but I'm gonna go ahead and spoil this right now to save if you're playing this at home. He will take 500 of your caps for information and tell you to go find water chips in a vault, and that is it. So he is actually useless. He's just it says he's a shifty-looking character, and that's exactly what he is. So this is the general store. And there's Mitch. Hi, Mitch. Let's barter. It doesn't matter if you say I want to buy or sell something, his inventory is still the same. So I believe we have some useless junk down here. That is actually worth quite a bit, $100 for that. I'm going to take that rope, which we will need later. I don't suppose one of these is going to be... Yep, that's what I thought. Way too expensive. So let's just make up for it with caps. That should be... 109? If my math serves me? Nope. Huh? I grabbed the wrong thing? I grabbed the wrong thing. I need that. Oh, man. Go ahead and laugh. I'm just role-playing my character as this wasteland survivor who didn't have good math education upbringing. Which is crap because I grew up in a vault and I should have decent education. I should know how to do math. Now, we can go into the Maltese Falcon and meet one of the talking heads, but that might put us on the outside of the law. It's been a while since I've done that quest. But Decker is the leader of the gang here, or the mob boss. And he is voiced by one of my favorite voice actors ever, Keith David, who you would know as Goliath from Gargoyles. He was in Saints Row 4. He was in The Cape on NBC, if you remember that. He was in The Thing, They Live. He's awesome. He's just plain awesome. But he also runs a gambling casino, gambling establishment. Not necessarily a casino, more like just like a seedy bar. It is one of the only two places in the game where gambling comes into handy. And yeah, I believe these are also rooms where you can, oh, he's just a mercenary. But these are rooms you can rent out, and I believe that one it has, what's the professional term? A bed warmer? Some garbage like that. Oh, just a drunk. Never mind. Hey, barkeep. Alright, bottle of water here. Here, the bartender slides you a dirty tin cup full of some murky water. After drinking the water, you have a strange taste in your mouth. Oh. Well. I thought that maybe it'd be an item in your inventory you could grab, like a cantina from Fallout 2 that helps you during desert sequences. Guess not. I believe this is Kane. And no, he's not the big red machine. He's just some puke at the bar here. Hello. I heard of you. You're the one that took out Gizmo over in Junktown. Kelly must have paid you a good sum for that job. Are you here for some work, maybe? Yeah, let's go meet Keith David. Why the hell not? It's not skag work. You'll need to do it quick and clean. The boss will give you the details, but it's more money than you'll make in a month working for the caravans. But only if you're good enough. We don't take kindly to failures, if you know what it means. Sounds good. I'm sure you're familiar with our sort of business, so let me just say it would be in your best interest to keep this to yourself, shall we?
So, you're looking for a job. How fortunate. I have one that needs doing. Ah, but where are my manners? What's your name?
I'm Fruit Spread.
Well, the pleasantries are now concluded. Do you wish to hear about the job?
That's why I'm here.
Background. There's a certain merchant who's, how to phrase this, not cooperating fully with the underground. Quite simple. Hunt down the merchant and his wife, and exterminate them.
Ice cold, dude.
It's standard pay. 500 caps to start. Another 2,500 when the job is done. Will you do it?
I'll say yes here, though I probably won't end up doing it.
Very nice. The merchant lives in the Heights, on Barter Street and Thunder Avenue. Your initial pay will be handed to you on your way out.
Okay. I don't think there's any harm in just taking his pay and never completing the mission, but I could be wrong, because this game does keep track of time. Now I'm starting to remember. I think I wanted to talk to the sheriff and try to gather evidence on Decker, and I think that's the way to do it, but I don't recall. Like I said, I'm not going to try to focus on these side missions. I just want to showcase the talking heads for the most part and do the main story quest. But if you guys want me to take care of that stuff, let me know. And I'll definitely complete this quest, unless the in-game timer screws me over. Now, when I normally play through this on my own and not for Let's Play purposes, I will actually start a fight in the Friendly Loan Company and take the 14mm pistol off Guido here. And I would also scrap with a couple other people around the city that will get me rewards and will actually be shortcuts, like I mentioned earlier, to the story. But I don't really want to be that kind of Let's Play where, like, this is how you just run through the game as quickly as possible, and here's how you get all the best items. But, yeah, he's got a 14mm pistol that he would not mind donating once you insult the loan officer in there. And I missed some float dialogue from Ian there, but basically this is Beth. She has good guns. I believe it's Jake in the other section of town. He mentions that he has good guns, but they're very pricey. Let's go ahead and barter and see if she has anything worthwhile. Man, she just kind of has standard fare. You know, this is all stuff we have. We don't need any more ammo. We could unload Gizmo's pistol here, as I don't recall that 9mm ammo is very common, and it's not that strong of a weapon. It might have a good critical hit range. I think that's might be the case, but right now it's just taking up space. And what's nice about Fallout 1 is that you can always come back and buy things from vendors later on. There might be a time limit on that, so don't quote me. But from my kind of homework that I've been doing, kind of playing ahead of this, is I've sold items and then was able to come back later and pick them up if I needed to. So he's about 300 caps short. We don't...